Let's begin. Today is February 13th, and let's double check the time. It's 10:25, and we're located in the Dean of Students office suite 3500 in the conference room. My name's Vernon Heperi. I'm the Dean of Students, and we have here Sarah Westerberg. She is the Associate Dean of Students, and I have her serving in a secretarial role today to take minutes of our meeting. So I welcome you again, Chad, and then ask you if you could introduce your guest and your support people to us.
This is Susan Norris, and this is my dad, Roger Hardy.
Let me just clarify some things, Roger, for you and for Susan. Support persons are friends and emotional support for Chad here in this meeting. As you know, I've excluded media credentialed folks from this meeting. I think it changes the nature of the meeting, and I made that decision personally. Your role here will be to provide support. You won't be asked to interrupt or interject at any point in time. Well, let's move ahead. I've developed a little checklist for me here, Chad, so that we make sure and I'm going to take some notes too, because this is going to be you and me talking here, and I'm sure you have many things to share with me too. Let me again just review why we're meeting today. Your diploma was withheld by the university. The purpose of this review is to address whether you've met the requirements for graduation. The fact that your church status is in question, we'll figure that out in a moment to see if I have accurate information. That's really important for me to understand as we go through this review. But I'm going to take into account all of the information you want to share with me today, all right? And I'm going to give you an opportunity to not only share that, but take your time in sharing it so I can understand. And then I'm also going to take into consideration your conduct with the honor code. Those are the two things that I'm going to look at very carefully today. I'm given that responsibility as the Dean of Students to try to weigh this. It's a big responsibility, as you understand. It's something that I take very, very seriously. I want to deliver a decision immediately following this review. I'll need time to take by myself to consider this very, very carefully. I want you to know that that's not unusual. Typically when I meet with students, I tell them that I'm going to take some time so that I can be by myself in the office. That's typically in the evening or over the weekend, because the phone rings off the hook during the day and it interrupts this type of consideration. But when I make my decision, I will get back to you by writing so that you have my decision. Again, I want you to understand that no decision has been made. That's what this review is for. And I could not make a decision without hearing your part of this. Now let me outline for you what we're going to do here. First, I want to check that the information I received about your status in the church is accurate. And then I'm going to give you an opportunity to present any information you would like me to consider in connection with your review today. Third, I'll have some questions related to the honor code that I would like to ask you about. And then at the conclusion of this, I'll give you one more opportunity to add anything that you'd like to add. It's possible after our discussion you may come up with some other questions or statements, and that will be fine. So that's the format I'll follow. Are you okay with us moving ahead in that format?
Yes.
Okay. The first thing I'd like to ask you is, because this is for me a central issue, is just about your status with the church. And my first question to you is, were you excommunicated by the church in July 2008?
Yes.
Okay. And I think you understand. Let me give you these documents here so that you can have a look. You may already be familiar with them. The honor code as they appear in the academic catalogue, and then the statement by the university. Let me find my copy first. So we're talking from the same documents. You can see from that BYU requires that a student be in good standing with the honor code before they graduate and receive a diploma. And so excommunication takes you out of good standing with the church and the honor code. With that being established that you have been excommunicated, what I'd like to do is turn our attention to the honor code and how you're doing with that, so that I can weigh and balance that and make a determination about whether or not I should grant an exception to the graduation policy on campus. Do you understand what I'm trying to do here?
I believe so. We'll see.
Okay. What information would you like me to consider as part of this discussion about good honor code standing? Are there some things you'd like me to consider first?
Well, the only thing to consider is the excommunication, because that's why I'm here. So the only thing that we need to discuss are the reasons for that excommunication, so that you understand that the reasons for excommunication would not have been any violation of the BYU Honor Code.
Well, let me just share something with you. Excommunication is an ecclesiastical matter. I'm not your ecclesiastical leader, and I have no authority in your ecclesiastical line. The purpose of the review today is to review your standing with the honor code, because of what I've just shared with you. Being in good honor code standing is a necessary part of qualifying for graduation. So while I'd be happy to hear what you have to say, I have no judgment about excommunication, and I think you'd understand that.
Right, but that's why we're here, is the excommunication, nothing else. That's why my endorsement was removed.
Right. Your endorsement came to my attention because of the excommunication. But again, I need to help you understand. I don't weigh your excommunication or make any judgment about that. I think you know enough about excuse me, ecclesiastical matters to know I'm not in your ecclesiastical line, nor did I have any.
So I have a question for you.
But just a moment, let me finish. So, and I won't interrupt you.
Okay.
That way we completely understand one another. So after establishing that you have been excommunicated, what I'd like to do again is examine your good standing with the honor code, which is the standard for graduation. And then by weighing that, what I'd like to do is ask you some questions and then weigh whether or not I should make an exception to university policy. So as an administrator, I have the ability to make an administrative decision about our graduation policy. But again, I think you understand that I'm not in the line, ecclesiastical line, that excommunicated you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
Okay. Would we be sitting here right now had I not been excommunicated?
Your excommunication brought you to the attention of the university, but your diploma was withheld because your excommunication takes you out of good standing with the church and the honor code.
Okay. So with that said, had I not been excommunicated in July, but possibly been excommunicated in late August, I would have received my diploma and there would have been no issue.
Yeah, I don't know. What I'm dealing with is the issue at hand. I don't know what would have happened if this happened, if that happened. What I'm dealing with is what happened to you. And I think we've established that you were excommunicated. And understanding that what I'm trying to do now is to move to something that I can weigh relative to your ability to graduate and receive a diploma. And I mean, we can keep discussing this if you need to, so we can come to an understanding. But I don't have anything to do with the excommunication. Though you are correct, it brought you to the attention of the university. But what I'm trying to do here is now weigh the administrative responsibilities I have.
Okay, another question. So the university